Samantha from Jessama Tutorials here, and welcome to day 18 of the Cracklathon, where I'm doing a crackle veneer every single day for a whole month. So today we are going to be doing another heat gun crackle, and we are going to be playing around with alcohol inks. So first you're going to want a piece of white clay rolled out on your thickest setting, like I have here, which is about 2mm thick, and I'm working with Polymer. Then grab a piece of plain printing paper, like I have, and burnish. Like so. Okay. Then, because we are going to be curing our clay, I want to trim away all excess, and you want to make sure you do this because once the clay has been semi-cured with a heat gun, the parts that you do not want can't really get used in much. So I prefer to make sure that I have just about enough. Right. Now we're going to heat gun it. So I'm using this brand of heat gun, and I'm going to move it to my hottest setting, and I'm going to have it on my highest wind speed. And I'm going to show you exactly how long I hold it for. Now before I typically hold it over the clay, I will hold it to off to the side, and I will get it to heat up for about 5 seconds. Okay, and just before we start, I've actually decided to use the lowest wind speed. And that should be all you need to get it to cure. So run your hand over the surface. You should not be able to. You shouldn't have any resistance. If you do, you need to cure the area a little bit more. There's one spot over here where I'm having a bit of resistance. Okay, and that's taken care of that. Now you want to just let that cool for a moment, and then pick it up off of the tile. Okay. And there we go. So I've got a good crackle there. But before I crackle it, I do want to apply our alcohol inks. So I'll just stick that back down. And I'm going to bring over an alcohol ink dabber. And here is what I am using. And this I got from Linda's Art Spot. And I'm also going to be using Pinata inks. I'm going to be using Passion Purple, Sapphire Blue, and Baja Blue. Okay, and now always open your alcohol inks away from your clay, because you don't want any of that dried ink that dries around the cap to get onto your clay, because that causes issues. Just make sure to open them away. Okay, there we go. Now I think I'm going to start with the purple. Just going to draw one line. So, then I'll move on to the sapphire blue, draw one line there too, okay. Then the Baja blue, and I've got a bit more of that one, and that I will use to basically fill in our white spots. Okay, and I don't want to fill in all the spaces. Then take some 99% isopropyl alcohol, and I'm going to spray from a distance. One time, another time. And I'll just spray a few times, and what this is doing is it's getting that alcohol ink to develop these little cells that I like. And I'll just blow between sprays. and I just like to do that a few times. But you do want to make sure that each time you blow, because you don't want a whole bunch of the alcohol to get onto your alcohol inks, because then it will kind of swim around and it will just blend everything, rather than getting this really nice layered speckled effect. Okay, and I think I'll stop about there. Now I'm going to take a piece of plain printing paper again, lay that over the top, and I'm just going to burnish, and I'm not burnishing too hard. This is mainly to remove excess ink, this wet stuff, which I don't want when I run this through my pasta machine. So I just do that a few times until I have no more ink sticking, which means that it is nice and dry, or at least dry enough to go through a pasta machine. There we go. And I'll pick that up and I'm going to run that through on my thickest setting. And here's our crackle. So I ran it through from this side to this side, and I think I'm going to stick with the lengthwise crackle. If you want kind of a square crackle effect, you'll rotate and then run perpendicular to the lines again. But I'm going to be running again parallel to the lines. Run down one more setting. Okay, and I quite like that. And this section you can see has not crackled, so I might help that along. I use my finger to just gently coax it. Okay, there we are. And that's a really pretty crackle. I quite like that one. And you can see we've got lots of fine cracks, which means that we did not cure it too long. If you do happen to cure it a little bit too long, you'll find that the cracks end up being quite large, and that might be something that you like, but for this crackle I wanted nice fine cracks. And always put the alcohol ink onto your clay before you crackle it, because otherwise you typically won't end up with pure white lines contrasting against your alcohol ink. If you don't want pure white lines, then crackle it and then apply your alcohol ink. And now I'm just burnishing just to get everything together. And then I might go with my roller and just roll it a little bit just to get it completely flat. Like so. Okay, and there we go. That's just about it. And I'm just going to trim off this excess bit over here so that we have a nice, neat veneer. And I quite like that crackle. It looks very nice. And again, remember, you can use any colour alcohol inks you want. The pinata inks are my favourite for this one because they have a very they're very strong in colour. And so that is basically it for this tutorial. Now keep in mind that isopropyl alcohol is an option in this tutorial. I like the blotted effect that it gives, but it is not absolutely necessary to this technique, so if you don't have it, feel free to just use your alcohol inks. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below. And if you would like to see a project on this crackle, please do consider joining my group Jessama Tutorials Polymer Clay Community on Facebook, because we will be doing a poll at the end of the month to decide on the most popular crackle, and I'll be doing a project with that crackle. So consider joining that group. And as always, I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.